Yo guys, Caterpie TCG here today doing a deck profile of Quad-Hoopa. This is a deck that did pretty awesome at Portland Regionals. I believe there was a top 16, a top 8, and a top 32, all with the same list, I believe, at Portland. And I'm sure there were players outside the top 32 playing this deck as well. But there's also a lot of good finishes with this deck. And this deck has done well at other events. I know it's done well at League Cups and ARGs. So yeah. First, there's 4-Hoopa, obviously, hence the deck is called Quad-Hoopa. It's also called Aggro-Hoopa, or Attacking Hoopa, or Offensive Hoopa, or, yeah. So Hoopa has the ability, basically, Safeguard, where, the effects of attacks from EXs and GXs don't affect Hoopa. And then it has an attack for Dark and 2 Colorless that does a moderate amount of damage. 80 is not awful. So the principle is that most decks have mostly GXs in them. So Hoopa can do pretty well against these decks where the only real defense they have is like Rockruff. And it's kind of a surprise when your Rockruff gets knocked out by Hoopa. So that's kind of the part of the principle of the deck. There's also an Oranguru, the Instructor Oranguru, and the Ultra Prism Oranguru, so that you can do the Oranguru Infinite Loop, where you like resource management without having a deck left, basically, and then you can get every card that you need. Usually you want to do this with something like Acerola, so that your opponent eventually decks out. One Tapu Koko. Flying Clip is very good because normally Super Cybele, even with a Fury Belt, can't one-shot Zoroark. So you need one Flying Flip and a Hoopa with the Stadium card, and Fury Belt can knock out a Zoroark in 2 hits. Or with 2 Flying Flips, Hoopa can knock out a Zoroark GX with a Stadium or a Fury Belt. You don't need both. One Mewtwo. This is for things like Glade and Buzzwole, and Espeon. Just a good tech for a lot of different, cards. One Giratina, because the Greninja matchup is atrocious. But with Giratina, it's not actually that bad. As long as you can, 2-shot their Greninjas, they're 2-shotting you. And they take longer to get set up than you do. So as long as you can consistently get your Reverse Valley and your Fury Belts, or get your Flying Flips going, then you can pretty easily win the Greninja matchup with the Giratina in play. For Guzma, to make your opponent switch, this is especially good against Garbotoxin, because with the Reverse Valley and a Fury Belt, you can Guzma up their Garbotoxin and knock it out in one shot. This could also be good for any number of reasons. Guzma's awesome. For Sycamore, for draw support, same goes for Cynthia and just draw support cards. 2 Acerola to pick up your Pokemon and essentially heal them. One thing that you can do is, if you have like basically no deck left, you can keep recycling Acerolas so that you deck your opponent out eventually with Oranguru, as long as they cannot one-shot your Oranguru. One Gladion to get things out of the prize cards. You know, sometimes you'll need like Mewtwo or Giratina or whatever, and it'll be prized. So you can get that. You can also get your 2 Stadium cards with Gladion, and you take prize cards, so you can use Gladion multiple times in that game, usually, if so you choose. We have 2 different Stadium cards, Perilous City and Reverse Valley. Perilous City is pretty good in limiting the amount of Pokemon that can come down on your opponent's side. Perilous City is also another way to limit Greninja's ability to kill you, taking their 80 damage down to 60. So if you have a Fury Belt and the Fury Belt can stay on, then I would advise putting the red side to the Greninja matchup, and they don't have much they can do. Also, one Reverse Valley to make your damage a lot better. The 10 doesn't seem to matter, like, when you think about it, like, it just helps a lot of different things. Plus, if you run out of Fury Belts, you essentially have a 5th way to boost your damage up to 90. For Nest Balls, if you didn't already notice, all of the Pokemon in this deck are basics, and there's only 9 Pokemon. And you really need to get out Hoopas, and there's a lot of other, like, all the other 5 Pokemon are all pretty important in various matchups. So, Nest Ball is super good at getting those Pokemon. For Max Elixir, to power up the Hoopa even more, there are 9 Dark Energies in this deck, so, you can hit Max Elixir a pretty decent amount of times. For Fury Belt, to make your Hoopas have more HP so that they can survive attacks from non-EX GX Pokemon, and also to make you do 10 more damage, because like I said, the 10 more damage adds up a lot, and you would kind of be surprised on what numbers you can miss without any damage modifiers. 2 Flowstone, just to retreat things like Orangurus and Giratinas, and I mean, you can retreat Hoopas and Mewtwo's, but you don't need to retreat those as often because you usually attach to those. 2 Super Rods to shuffle your Hoopas and your energies back in the deck. Same goes for Special Charge, you can shuffle your DCEs into your deck. 1 Ultra Ball, sort of a 5th Nest Ball, except it's not as good in this deck, because you do have to discard, but, you can't play 5 Nest Balls, obviously, so Ultra Ball is pretty good. 1 Enhanced Hammer, just to, stop the amount of energies that can come down, onto the field. And also 1 Rescue Stretcher, sometimes you just want to put the Hoopa or whatever right back down on the field, instead of having a Nest Ball for it after you Super Rod. So Rescue Stretcher allows you to do that. You can also shuffle in like 3 Hoopas with Rescue Stretcher if you don't have Super Rods, or if you just need to really bad and you are missing Super Rods. And as I already said, there are 9 Dark Energies in this deck, a pretty good amount to hit Max Elixirs with. I would say hit. I'm really unlucky with Max Elixirs, and I usually hit 2 of the 4 that I play. And Buzzle, I actually added a 10th energy, and I probably hit 1 a game. So, I'm very unlucky with Max Elixirs, but I usually get about 50% with this deck, which I don't understand, because Buzzle has 1 more energy. And 4 DCEs, so that you can take advantage of Hoopa's, 1 Dark 2 DCE retreat cost. So yeah, this is the Quad-Hoopa deck. It kind of took Portland by storm. I know I wouldn't have expected it if I was playing in Portland. I didn't play in Portland, but yeah. Anyways, leave a like and subscribe to Caterpie TCG for more deck profiles and other competitive TCG videos. Mostly deck profiles, and I'm doing more surprise and rogue decks now because the meta is getting a little bit stale for me. I will do a lot of Forbidden Light deck profiles pretty soon, so stay tuned for those. And I think I've ran out of stuff to say, so bye-bye.